Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Wheel to Wheel. Unfortunately, this is not the type of start you want, given what happened at Nürburgring this past weekend. There was a major crash, 7 cars were involved, and unfortunately, not all 7 drivers managed to get out of it. Juha Mentinen lost his life on Saturday at the Nürburgring, doing what he loved in his BMW, racing at the ring. He was 66, been racing there for 20 years, which is nuts. Racing over there for over 20 years. His career stats, he had 53 starts, 5 wins, 25 podiums. 47.2% podium rate. That says everything about the type of driver he is, but the most important thing is that people lost their friend and a family lost family member. So it really is a terrible situation, and all condolences and prayers to the Mentinen family and all of his friends. But one thing I really want to talk about is how the media, not even just media, quite a lot of people treated this. It wasn't good at all. A few examples: the race, Sky Sports, even ESPN, all of them using this just to talk about Max, which is just fucking wrong. I'm glad a lot of it, basically everyone's called these publications out on it, rightfully so, because it's just wrong. It's completely wrong to use a tragedy like this to make it about someone else, not even mentioning the drivers' names in these headlines. I know journalism has not been the greatest recently, but this isn't even about journalism at that point. It's just basic fucking humanity. I don't really know what else to say.
Yeah, I mean, there's an old saying that I like to reference from time to time, and it's trust is earned in drops but lost in buckets. And uh, the race, Sky Sports, ESPN, all sources, you know, have slowly paid into that bucket with drops of trust, and then just a few hours, really just hours ago, they just decide to throw all these buckets out the window. Just absolute awful, uh, despicable, um, and yeah, I think Yen put it best: is journalism isn't really what it is anymore. Uh, Taking some tough hits there. Um, there's no way you can deny how big Max is to an event like this, but obviously it can't be all about him. You gotta uh, say his name, Mentinen. Just absolute shame, and he will be missed. Incredible racer, good person. Um, just can't make it all about Max, and it's a shame that these places handled it the way they did.
Yeah, just hope his family, his friends, and everyone involved in his life, they're able to get the help they need to get through this, because it just sucks.
Or anyone wondering the results of the following race, given that the first race was not continued for obvious reasons, the following race, the The 16 Schreier Sport, Audi wins race 2 in the 24-hour qualifiers, being driven by Ben Green, Alex Simmons, and Christopher Haase. In second place, I believe it was the Abt Lamborghini, and then in third, the Grello Porsche coming in third. For anybody who was wondering about Max's race, it ended up getting damaged late in the race. Well, in Max's stint, and they dropped all the way down. I do believe they finished in 39th. And another notable finish was the BMW M3 Touring, which finished 7th overall. An impressive outing by them and the wagon. So now to get into the bulk of this episode, and we're going to start off with NASCAR. Tyler Reddick winning at Kansas in a clean until Cody Ware decided to spin out. I don't know if that was just Cody Ware or NASCAR giving him the call that we needed something to happen.
Apparently he had a tire go down.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Maybe NASCAR took out the tire. There's a good chance on that, to be honest.
Yeah. I mean, Reddick and really it was. I would say there were maybe 4 cars who had a chance to win who had a really good chance to win the race. Obviously, Reddick had pretty good pace. Hamlin won first stage. Obviously, was kind of running away with it a little bit at the end until a couple laps to go. Obviously, Larson won the second stage, and Christopher Bell, when he got into Queen Air, it kind of felt like there was nobody there to touch him. But obviously, some issues with the 20 car, and obviously a bad overtime restart, make him drop all the way down. Just not a good result for him. But Tyler Reddick, it's kind of funny that whenever Michael Jordan shows up to the track, he seems to win. It's kind of interesting how it works. I guess greatness inspires greatness in other people.
Affects them.
So the Red Baron, as I like to call him, the Red Baron, Tyler Reddick, huge victory. Builds his point gap at the top of the standings once again. This is 5 wins by Kansas is just an incredible spot to be in. That's a fantastic year. Even if the season, even if he doesn't win another race, this has just been a spectacular year for Tyler Reddick.
Yeah. I remember there was a fun stat. I think it was Mike Joy who brought it up during the race. Tyler Reddick has only led laps in 5 races this season. He's won all of them.
That's weak.
I thought he threw it away there with about 2 or 3 laps to go. Had some issue that I still don't think we all understand now.
He rolled the wall.
Hamlin. Yeah, he said he ran out of fuel, but that just doesn't seem very likely. And then he was able to, of course, continue afterwards. So I'm not sure what happened there.
Well, he was behind a car, so it might have been weight drifted him up.
Maybe. I'm not sure, but he fought forever to get behind Hamlin. Finally, was able to pass him. I thought he'd run away, and he didn't. Hamlin did really well to hold on to him. And then when whatever happened, he was able to get past him. And then that restart. Hamlin, I don't even want to say he misplayed it, but it's just like Larson and Reddick just had him in a bad position with Larson not being on him. And then Reddick side drafting him back. It provided a hole for Larson to go through. And I thought Larson was going to win. He's coming off turn 2 and he has a pretty good gap. And just Reddick gets into Bell, which somehow works out perfectly for Reddick. He gets this huge run through 3 and 4. And the most it's not even the most shocking dive bomb I've kind of seen by Reddick. Like just diving into the corner harder than anyone else can because of that finish at Homestead a few years ago. But it's just kind of one of the things he's really good at. He dives in there well, gets on Larson's quarter panel, and just drags him back. And when Hamlin gets to the wall, it's just those two fighting for the win at that point. And he dives into turn 3, clears them, just takes the win. So yeah, great job by Reddick.
Yeah.
Tough for Larson. Thought he had that one. Tough for Hamlin because he thought he had it 1-2 before the caution.
I think another person to highlight was Briscoe.
Yeah, those 4 fresh tires, which I wanted Reddick to take 4 fresh tires. It worked out for him, but I think it kind of proved the value of 4 fresh tires at the end there.
I mean, that last restart for Briscoe, going back and looking at it again, just looking at the clips, holy cow. Like, just unbelievable. Yeah, I mean, like you said, the value of 4 tires at that point in the game was, at that point in the race, was insurmountable. I think everyone really underestimated it. Although I will say, if you're in the top 10 at that point, which I don't think Briscoe wasn't really going to be worth taking all 4 tires. But turned out pretty good. Got essentially a podium out of it. Finishes with 38 points on a day where you didn't really get a whole lot of stage points out of it. So good on Briscoe for that. I want to shout out Toyota. We're going to get into this a little later, but Toyota's just had a dominant weekend for racing. Absolutely incredible. Almost have all top 5 are Toyotas at Kansas. They won the Xfinity race. They won the ARCA race, if I remember correctly.
They did.
So not just in NASCAR, but then obviously they went over in Imola. So Toyota's just had a great week. There are a couple of shout-outs I do want to give to these special racers today. One to a whole team. I want to give a shout-out to RFK. Again, just we talk about delivering consistent results. This team is not where they can see where they need to be. Well, they see where they need to be. But here's the thing. 6th, 10th, and 11th is just insane. I mean, other than Joe Gibbs racing, and I guess you could throw Hendrick in there too. No one had a better average finish for their team. Just it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable what they've been able to do over at RFK. Brad with a 6th place finish. Buescher top 10. Brian Priest just outside in 11th. Even after that late restart. So just crazy stuff. I want to give a quick shout to Austin Cindric, by far the best Penske car today. Again, I talked on the last couple of episodes about him being able to deliver consistent results. Cindric has been delivering pretty consistently. Again, not his best track. The Penske's just didn't really have it this weekend. Somehow limps it home for a 12th place finish. So, really good on him. Also want to give a quick shout out to Alex Bowman, real quick. And this may come off a little odd, 18th place, but 2 weeks after coming back from Vertigo, and this guy was running top 10 at some points, just outside the top 10 at certain points. And I think the late restart maybe helped him out a little bit. But hey, Alex Bowman, you're doing great. I'm gonna keep rooting for you.
He started in 33rd, so he had a great race. Cindric, as y'all said, started in 34th, finished 12th. I do want to point out Bubba Wallace had a really good race this race. It felt like he was the last guy. He was the best of the non-winning cars. It always felt like he was about a 10th or 2 slower than Hamlin, than Larson, than Reddick. him and Bell, they were catching at the end before the caution. It felt like it was going to be a three-way fight between Bell, Wallace, and Larson for P3, and then we had the safety car. Who got boxed in on that restart too multiple times. He never got to get a run, and he also didn't get a bump, which was interesting to watch play out, seeing how drivers bump on a restart in a finish like this on a track that's not really a bumping track. That's new to me, given that I'm new to NASCAR. That was interesting to see. William Byron, quietly good race. I know he started P14,
7th,
but he got 7th out of this. It was a very quiet race out of Byron, but top 10 finish. I think he can be really happy about that. We really do need to point out two things. One, 2311 is really fucking good.
Yeah.
And Riley Herbst had a really great race. 14th. All four cars in the top 15. Corey Hyman 15th, Herbst in 14th, Wallace in 5th, and Tyler Reddick in 1st. It's a damn good day for 2311. But complete opposite side of the spectrum was Trackhouse.
Oh my god.
What happened? Genuinely, because they never got into trouble. It's just the pace. It's that bad. And like, I'm new, so I don't know how Trackhouse was before all the major moves this offseason. But you got top end talent like Van Gisberg, and you bring in Zilch, who's been a fucking storied driver in his young career, and then you obviously have Ross Chastain. You can't be finishing 36, 28, 29th, and Ross finishing 26. Trackhouse hasn't been very good these past few weeks. And I made a joke earlier to Derek, or it was Royal, I think. I was just like, they're waiting for, at this point, they've got to be sick of all these ovals. They're ready to have a damn good race at Watkins Glen. So they're struggling. I don't know what the answer is to that, but yeah, I don't know what the hell's going on with Trackhouse.
Yeah, I mean, I understand, like, sometimes you just miss it, but, like, because, like, I mean, Logano also just missed it today badly.
Yeah, he was nowhere.
Man, this is really bad for Trackhouse. I don't even know what to say, man. It's terrible.
Yeah. Nowhere.
Glenn can't come soon enough.
Yeah, nowhere close for stage points. I agree with Derek on this. Is stage points are a pretty good indicator of, just your overall pace through multiple races. And I'm gonna be honest, other than at road courses, I don't remember the last time a Trackhouse car scored stage points. Like
Chastain earlier in the year.
I really don't know. I feel like this may be the worst Chevy team if road courses didn't exist, or just conventional tracks, I should say. I mean, this is bad. This is awful. I mean, I hate saying it, but you would think Hayek or Colleague Racing is a better car at this point, at least on on a conventional oval. Ty Dillon, Ricky Stenhouse have more points than Connor Zilch. Yes, I'll admit Zilch had some troubles early on in the year, but we're at Kansas now. Stuff should be averaged out. Noah Gragson has more points than Zilch, and it's not like the FRM car is a rocket ship. It's not. So stuff needs to be asked. I think heads need to be on chopping blocks pretty soon. Just not what we used to seeing out of Trackhouse. You used to seeing them being a playoff contender, or chase contender, I guess now. Their top driver right now is Shane Van Gisbergen. He's in 18th, so he fell outside the cut line right now. I'm gonna go ahead and talk a little bit about standings. Hamlin moved into second. Blaney moved down a spot. Larson swapped places with Elliott and chase standings. Brad Keselowski moved up 2 spots. Busher, Busher and Bell lose a spot. Husford moves up. Priest moves up above. Gives himself a little gap above the cut line. Logano loses big points today. He's in 14th. So yeah, just crazy, man. And I think the same stat that I have last week is here this week is pretty sure RFK is the only team to have all of their cars in chase or playoffs or whatever you want to call it now. So
pretty good chance that happens.
Very good chance that happens.
Gibbs just got in.
Gibbs. Oh yeah, that's right.
Briscoe's in.
Briscoe's in. So only the only 2 teams.
For now, to be honest, I think JGR will comfortably all 4 cars will be in because Briscoe just had a horrid start to the season, but he's been bouncing back. He's been putting up some good results. I do want to mention the O'Reilly Series win, being Taylor Gray, winning for Toyota in the O'Reilly Series. He had a great last stage. He had a great last stage. I don't even know really what else to say. He had a great last stage. I said it for the 3rd time. Oh my gosh.
It's okay.
He had a.
Go ahead.
He undercut, and Sheldon Creed was catching him. I thought Sheldon Creed would find a way past him eventually, but great defensive driving from Taylor Gray. Never made a mistake, and I'll get you wins.
Yeah, he was Gray already had a fast car. I felt he was into contention all day. Obviously, there was early on the first stage. It looked like Allgaier or Day would just run away with it and just pull ahead. Just felt like it was a 2-horse race for the moment. Need to talk about that crash real quick. Carson Carqual going airborne. Yeah, that was something. Also sucks that Parker Retzlaff was involved. Just unfortunate. We're big Parker Retzlaff fans over here at Wheel to Wheel, so pretty big fans. It's just a shame. I thought the O'Reilly race was a lot of fun, but congrats to Taylor Gray on a win. 2 wins at Kansas, so maybe it's a sign that he's found his groove here. So fantastic stuff. Also, second of the wins for Toyota on the weekend.
Yeah, my final shout for NASCAR this weekend is LeVar Scott, 19th, or no, it was 18th. Scott
beating his teammate.
Teammate getting 19th. Good day for that team.
There's these guys in Xfinity, right? That's you don't really hear a lot about unless you really follow the series. And Brennan Poole, that's just a really good driver, right?
Fantastic.
Any day you can beat Brennan Poole as his team, when he's your teammate and you can beat Brennan Poole, that's a good day for you.
Yeah. In his first year, this is his first full year in Riley because he was in ARCA last year. He did get 2-3 starts in the season. Yeah, LeVar Scott, another guy I'm definitely following. You couldn't tell why.
I want to give a shout out to one more driver, also JGR driver Brandon Jones. What a really good chunk of the race, 67 laps. I swear I'm not trying to make a joke. I apologize. But good race for Brandon Jones. Controlled a good chunk of the race. He walks away with 49 points. So, maybe not the place finish he wants, but hey, it's a really good. It's a really good finish. Pretty good weekend for Toyotas, all things considered.
Two other guys I wanted to give a shout out to in the Cup Series. I'm shocked you didn't bring this up, Jack. Todd Gilliland, P17. Good run from him.
Yeah, great run from the GOAT. Great run.
And there was one non-Hendrick or Hendrick-affiliated car to be on the lead lap. That was also a Chevy. Probably should have mentioned that part. Austin Dillon. He doesn't get a ton of love. But I feel like he deserves some for the run he had today. That was a solid run from them.
Also, if you haven't checked out Imp Lemon's, again, not Imp Lemon did another documentary style video, kind of follows Austin Dillon in the playoff era. So, excellent video, worth checking out. Just want to give a shout out there. I love his NASCAR content. I think it's best of the best.
Start watching more NASCAR stuff. Should be able to understand shit more. But is that all for NASCAR?
That's all I got.
The ARCA race.
Oh yeah,
Destiny. Good run for her.
Thank you for mentioning that. Not only that, 3 women in the top 10 in the ARCA race. Damn good race, and Destiny got fucking spun. Did he spin her just to get caution? Because that's what everyone's really been saying.
I think there was.
I watched the clip, and it's just like, why? He obviously had the speed to just go over or under. It was just really,
yeah.
She still managed to get a top 10 out of that, which is nuts on her first intermediate. She got to Jack's unfortunate dreams of her being a Chevy driver. She was in a Ford this weekend. She got proper equipment, but it was a Ford. His heart was broken when he heard that news.
Unfortunate. Unfortunate. Really wanted to see her place well in a Chevy, but hey, look, she's doing great. Great stuff. I don't watch a whole ton of ARCA races, but I definitely watched the Kansas one. Also, pretty solid race. I mean, Kansas is just a great track in general. One of the, I think it's the best. And look, maybe the Cup Series was pretty boring, but long green flag runs. I mean, if you really looked up and down the order, there are battles everywhere. Like, I don't think those long green flag runs we had were boring by any stretch. I thought they were eventful. I thought the best cars rose to the top. I thought that was also true for the ARCA race and the O'Reilly race. I mean, it's what a track is supposed to provide. And look, it's qualifying mattered too for all of those, all 3 series this week. Like, you look at the average finish of the top 5, look where they started. Like, they started up there too. Like, they had
in the top 10.
Yeah, they had the pace. So
all of them started in the top 10.
Yeah. So love Kansas, great track. But yeah, great on Destiny for getting a nice result.
Third race, 2 top 10s. If that is all for NASCAR, we can get into the one series Toyota can't dominate because they're not in it. IndyCar, Alex Palou finally gets his first win out in Long Beach. It's a shock that he hasn't won at Long Beach. He got his win today, beating out Felix Rosenqvist, who unfortunately, Chip Ganassi, like Derek said, 2 weeks ago? The best team. They got the best pit crew. They killed it on pit lane. That car out in front, and once Palou hits clean air on a street circuit or a road course, he's gone. But really impressive day out of Felix Rosenqvist. Scott Dixon doing what he does best. Actually, he did two great things this weekend. He qualified well. He qualified in P7. He qualified in P6 this weekend. Ends up on the last step of the podium. So great race out of Chip Ganassi as a whole. As their final driver, Kiffin Simpson has a much needed top 10 this year in that beautiful Sunco livery, which this is the type of performance that car deserves. And I'm glad Kiffin Simpson got himself a good race. Had a great race today, finishing in P10. Oh boy, Jack.
Hey Jack, you want to talk about P12?
Yeah, I can't have a Nolan Siegel hate moment, can I? He ran a good race. I'll admit it. Overall, just incredible. Started, I think, 20.
Dead last.
Yeah, dead last.
He started dead last.
Made it halfway. I mean, that's great. Good for him. I mean, no hate for me this week. We can skip that segment.
Nolan Siegel.
Also, just it's a shame. Rosenquist dominated and had a very good hold over the first part of the race. You know, he led 51 laps. Obviously, Polo's pit crew helped him win. Sometimes it's good to be lucky a little bit. Get your pit crew good break. Debris came out at the right time. I just didn't really help him out. It sucks. Was hoping maybe for a Rosenquist this victory, but hey, big win for Polo. Also podium for Dixon. I know you guys mentioned it, but it's amazing what Scott can do when he actually qualifies well, gets a good jump, moves up on the field, and also like Kirkwood started fourth, finished fourth. Yeah, like I was maybe expecting a little more out of Kirkwood. I was hoping maybe for a podium. But again, fourth place finish, it's going to definitely help you. Definitely going to still stay near the top of the standings. I don't think he's number one anymore. I think that
he's not number one.
Yeah, I think Polo's number one.
Only 17 points behind.
Yeah, only 17 points behind. So on a day where you just don't have it in you to compete for a victory, maybe get yourself a shot to the podium, just doesn't work out. I mean, pretty solid. Again, maybe you expected a little more, but can't be mad at Kirkwood. But Pato O'Ward, Derek, there's this stat you had earlier this week, right? I think he kind of went against that stat this week, huh?
Yeah, I'm trying to find it again. I believe he tied his best finish at Long Beach with a fifth. So good on him.
Second time in the top 10.
Do love he bucks that as soon as I say something about it. But I mean, this is what Pato needed, right? He's got to stay in the game, and he's in danger of slipping out. He honestly, maybe he's already slipped out, but he needs days like this. He needs to stay where if Palou makes a mistake or he gets caught in someone else's mistakes, where he can get some back. That's extremely important for his chances.
For sure. And there's ovals left on the schedule. You can make up ground on those, right?
Especially with the most important one.
Absolutely.
He always runs well at. So I don't think he's completely out of it yet, unless Palou and Kirkwood are ridiculous Indianapolis 500. And look, there's always a chance. I'm not even gonna say it. I'm just gonna Palou, just do what you do at Indianapolis. You'll be fine in terms of the championship. I'm not even gonna say what I was gonna say. Not putting that out there. I do want to mention. Really, this is a day for the underdogs in terms of good good finishes. Alex Rossi, E9, great finish for him in ECR. Graham Rahal, first back-to-back top 10 since 2024, which is crazy. But P3, and then you followed up with a P8 at Long Beach. Say this two pretty good weekends. Obviously, you had Kiffin Simpson have himself a bounce back weekend in P10. Dennis Hogger impressing as usual. And P11, great finish for him. And Dale Coyne, Olin Siegel, as we said, and Renus VK, proving once again that he is a lot better than Junko's Hollinger Racing probably lucked into. Joseph Newgarden had a mixed race. He was the fastest guy on track, especially when he got out in clean air. He was a second faster than everyone. And even when all the front runners came into the pits, he was still second faster. And even when he got that flat spot after overtaking, who was it? Foster?
Marcus Armstrong.
Armstrong. He was still a half a second faster, even with that massive flat spot on his tire. So even though you only finish in P14, I must say this is a pretty good showing pace-wise for Joseph Newgarden, even though this is not the result you were hoping for in the strategy, the risk and strategy that you took. Scotty Mack, 6, finish ahead of David Malukas. I think me and you, Derek, we felt like Malukas should have made some moves coming off that restart, but McLaughlin held strong. And I think it was a pretty good day for Penske, at least for those two.
Yeah, I think Penske, it wasn't a bad day for him, which I think is important. Obviously, Newgarden's strategy got ruined with the caution. Malukas, his day kind of got ruined also because of that caution.
At pits for both of them. And the restart, It wasn't even the caution, it was the pits. That really won or lost you the race because you want to know the crazy thing I was going to mention. Felix Rosenqvist was actually faster than Palou in terms of driver in the pit stop. At his pit crew, I think Palou was a 7.9 or 7.8, and then the pit crew was a 8.4, something like that. I saw. But the pit crew was slower, and that cost him track position, allowing Palou to win the race. Will Power is another. Well, to be honest, Andretti didn't have the day they were hoping for. Will Power having that penalty. Al Kirkwood didn't move up. He didn't move down, but we were hoping to get up the track. And Marcus Ericsson unfortunately had the hybrid issues, which caused him to retire. So, day for Andretti.
I want to say this race could have really used more like tire degradation, tire fall off. And with the rule on having to do 2 sets of alternates, really felt like it took a lot of the strategy out of the race. I don't know if it really would have changed much, but I didn't love it.
Yeah. Wasn't like I agree. Wasn't really a huge fan. Also, I think it's this caution that we had today was the first caution we had there since 2024. So there was a long so Long Beach already has these stupid, like, you just green all the way to the checkered. So I think that threw a wrench in a lot of people's plans. But I agree, like, maybe have some a little bit more tire degradation. Get some more strategy options. Just felt like maybe it was a little bit bland. Obviously, Palou, again, got a little lucky with that, but hey, sometimes, like what I said, it's better to be lucky than good sometimes in racing.
I also want to say, like, when we're talking about him being lucky, it's like, when we say he's lucky, he's taken a second place finish, which is already a great finish, and getting like a
Yeah,
first.
pretty much.
That's
yeah.
what I mean. Like
Yeah, pretty
he still put himself in great position to
Absolutely.
benefit from these.
And
He's
that's
still
part of
below.
luck. Yeah, and that's part of luck is like just be prepared if that opportunity ever happens, right? What's like the equation? Luck equals like preparation plus probability or something like that. I don't know what the saying is, but
I've never heard that in my entire
I think I know what you're.
life.
I know what you're going for. I don't remember what it is exactly. I know what you're going for.
yeah, you know what I'm talking
I do not
about.
think. Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about. So maybe I'm just talking out of my ass like I usually am, but but no. Yeah, that's all I got for IndyCar. I guess I guess I'll talk standings a little bit. Kind of had a quiet year so far. You could maybe say that. Hasn't had a win yet. Only one pole, 2 top 5s. But Dave Malukas is third in the standings. I mean, has
Yeah.
anyone expected this?
In his first year in the Penske team,
I mean,
when you replace the guy in Will Power, you better show why, and you better show why early. And he's proven and he's shown himself to be, hey, I didn't come here to be the third guy. No, I came here to snatch y'all motherfucking chains. I want to win. And it's crazy. He hasn't even gotten a win yet, and he's feeling like the best overall Penske driver.
Yeah.
Which is probably crazy to say, given that it's Scott McLaughlin and fucking Joseph Newgarden. But look at the standings. Look at the results. He hasn't even won. He's third, and he's top dog at Penske right now.
Yep, second most
I
laps.
agree with you.
Second most laps led out of anybody in the field right away.
That's
I mean, look, and I feel like nobody's talking about this.
he needs a little bit of luck, and he's then it's off to the races in terms of wins.
Yeah.
Just one. So, any last thoughts on IndyCar this week?
I'm good here.
I do want to mention this because I feel like it's important. This was a very important race for Felix Rosenqvist. I know he didn't win. He showed what he needed to show. So where I think he's going to feel pretty safe in the job market.
Yes, yeah, I do.
Very
I
safe.
agree with you for that. Especially given during the broadcast they said like he needs to be his team manager, that he needs to be top 10 in the standings to like be all right. You'll have a seat next year. So as of right now, he's fighting for his job. He's fighting for his race seat. Especially given the rumors that maybe Meyer Shank with the new factory, what is the factory charter or something that they're about to be doing with the new regulations? But with the possibility of Honda figuring out who they want their factory program to be in IndyCar. If it isn't Meyer Shank, you still want to be the driver to be like, okay, I still want to be part of that program, whichever program it is, be it Chip Ganassi or Andretti or Meyer Shank. So, yeah, I agree with you. This was a great result for him and a much needed result for him, especially if he wants to continue his future in IndyCar.
That's it. We are almost to the month of May.
Yes. The very, very last thing is that Lundgaard, not the race you were hoping for this week, finished down in P20, but I do expect him to bounce back at Indianapolis in the GP and obviously in the Indianapolis 500. Now, you have a choice of staying at Long Beach, which I'm deciding to make because that makes the absolute most sense. Double header over at Long Beach, we had IMSA racing here at Long Beach for an hour and 40 minutes. Meyer Shank, speaking of Meyer Shank, Acura finally winning the Acura Grand Prix of Long Beach. Renger van der Zande and Nick Yellowby getting the win in the ARX 006 or ARX 06. I always thought it was 006. Man, okay. The 31 Wheeling Cadillac coming in P2. That car was fighting for the win down to the wire. Frederick Vesti just couldn't get past the defense of Van de Zande. But Jack Aiken in that car, he had that car in the lead, and it was looking quite good out in front. I think the Shapinsky cars, EOP worked. It's not like they got dropped down to the bottom. No, they finished third and fourth. I think if you take off like 10, maybe 15 kilograms, you have yourself a four-way fight wins at this point. So I do think this was a very great week for IMSA, especially in GTP, especially in GTD, where Lexus wins, getting their first win in 2 years. The last win was here in 2024, I believe they said. So, really much needed result. And another thing that adds to the Toyota dominance of this weekend. Yes, Lexus. Remember, Lexus, owned by Toyota, guys. They're under the same banner. Aaron Telitz and Peterson getting that win. They were super fat. Telix especially at the end was just gone. Especially and after Felipe got caught up in that squeeze from the Turner Motorsports BMW, ran away. Telix ran away in the Lexus. I do want y'all's opinions on BMW driving like BMW drivers would do in the road. Because it was two very different weekends for BMW and IMSA and WEC. Two very different weekends. They did finish P5, to be fair. There was some amateur hour driving a little bit. I'm not in the incident with the Valkyrie off the restart. I'm not really gonna blame it on the driver because cold tires weren't warmed up, then you just go deep. There ain't much you can do. It sucked for the Valkyrie, who was in P4. It looked like, hey, maybe this can be the kickstart for our race. BMW dives down the inside, and bad luck.
Yeah, within the span of a couple of laps, too. I mean, I'm not sure what happened there. I'm still trying to, I don't, on the first one, they just left the door open. BMW just went for it, and it just didn't pan out very well. Is that what happened on the first incident? Or
this incident was after this was later in the race, but one you're thinking of is Heinrich versus the 25.
That's right.
That, in my honest opinion, was all on the 25 because that was some super aggressive defense, overly aggressive defense. He put him into the wall going under the bridge, and then come by next lap. To be honest, Heinrich was there. You know he was there. Little bump, and you're into the wall. So,
yeah.
And at first, I thought Heinrich got a penalty, and then luckily they never went in, and the penalty got corrected to the 25, which would have been extra bad.
Yeah, they mentioned that on the broadcast. I think it was a graphics error or something like that.
Yeah,
but it really was the 25 who had the penalty. So, but I was equally confused. I was like, I'm not sure why that would be on the 23.
The 5, the JDC
that's a 5.
portion.
Yeah, that's right. But the other one with the cold tires. It happens. You're going back to green, tires cold, brakes cold. Can't time your mark correctly, and you just fly, you lock up, and obviously looks bad. in the moment, I was like, man, what the fuck?
I was like that as well.
Yeah, I was
just
like, man,
dog,
what the
hell?
fuck? I was like,
In the
this ain't.
onboard.
Yeah, this wasn't. This wasn't. I was like, this ain't the. This ain't like the
That's
F1
lap.
games where you start last and you can just dive down half the field heading turn one. Like, you can't be doing that. But then, yeah, it's brakes cold. He's trying to stop it. It just, nah, didn't look very good initially.
When the onboard came on, it was very clear. It's like, oh, he had no control once he hit those brakes. His tires were just no. We're not going to stop in time. So have fun, Aston Martin.
Yeah, sucks for Aston Martin because I thought they were having a really solid race up until that point. But yeah, just didn't really pan out. That's racing for you. I don't know what else to tell you.
Yep. So, I do want to talk about Heinrich in that JDC car. They were the fastest on track. He was the fastest guy on track for a good bit of the race, and I'm happy that he's getting the seat for the sprint races at least with JDC. And now that puts JDC in a position. It's like, okay, we got a factory driver for these sprint races. We're very confident in Vanderhelm, Tijman Vanderhelm. I will get it right. I swear I will get it right. But Vanderhelm, he's a very young driver. He wasn't faster of him and Heinrich, but you're confident in his progression, and Heinrich's only going to help it. So, especially later in the season, this car will be, I'm going to say it right now, I have a very good feeling this car will get either a podium, maybe even a win in one of these sprint races. I'm very interested to see how that car plays out on the rest of the year. So, I do think GTD, definitely need to talk about GTD and Wiggins and that DXDT Corvette, putting it on pole. Led every single lap of his stint. He gapped the field. They have a great pit stop. They had a really good pit stop. They wanted to be like in the 14s, and I think they had a 12-second pit stop. So they overachieved in terms of that. Fortunately, when I believe we had a caution that brought the Lexus up to the field, bunch them all together. And then unfortunately for Philippi, bad luck, in all honesty, with the BMW coming through. You have traffic, you have GTD traffic in front of you, you have passing BMW GTP car coming ahead of you at the fountain. It gets all messy, it gets all bunched up. Now you have to turn a BMW going onto the inside out of that little kink. You hit the wall, hit him. Now you got two other cars passing you. Just unfortunate for the DXDT car, for Robert Wiggins and Philippi, because they were having a strong race. They had a strong car. They definitely could have won this race. But as we said previously, luck matters.
No. I want to give a shout out to the two Penske's, the Porsche Penske's over in GTP real quick. Stayed out of trouble relatively throughout the race. Kind of like ran the race. I thought Van Thor had pretty solid stint there. So it can't be mad. Third and fourth. We thought maybe that they'll come out and dominate possibly, but obviously wasn't really obviously didn't really do that. But hey, good result. Can't be mad with a podium and then just fourth place. So the two Porsche Penske teams deserve a little shout out there. I do want to give a shout out to Vesti though and the Cadillac. man, he came so close there near the end. Just couldn't really make that pass. Like you mentioned, just I would have loved it. But yeah, I think honestly, in all honesty, I think that the Acura probably deserved that victory a little more. But yeah, it's just so close, really tight. Just really, I mean, the last 30 minutes or so, like he was just right up on that guy's rear bumper. Just couldn't make a pass though. Great defending by the Acura. So very good. Again, good result for the Cadillac. Just very close to a even better result.
Eric, you got anything?
There was something I was thinking about with or like my thoughts on defending, like defensive driving, and it comes back to that Heidenreich thing with the BMW. It's like if you defend like that, you're probably gonna get wrecked eventually. That's something I want to say about that. And yeah, he wrecked himself, so good job.
Yeah, I'm all for defensive, aggressive defense. But when you put a dude to the wall, they're squeezing a guy to the wall, and then there's just literally putting him into the wall. Now, did he mean to put him into the wall? Probably not. I think he thought maybe there's a little bit more space than there actually was. Yeah, I agree with you. He kind of forced that. He had that coming, unfortunately. But I'm all for aggressive defense as long as you keep it clean. It was not clean. Unfortunate day for the 25 BMW and for BMW drivers in a whole. Really don't help the standard that has been set for BMW road drivers, which they deservingly have. You don't want to be compared to your to the customer drivers that aren't race car drivers. So, now when we do get into WEC, there is a guy that I want to talk about who should 100% get a shot in one of those hypercars. Do y'all have any lasting things before we actually get into what was a great race over in Imola?
I'm all set for IMSA. I'm ready to talk WEC, WEC, real quick.
All right. I do think this probably best race of the weekend. It started off with an amazing qualifying shootout between the factory Ferraris, the 8 Toyota and the Peugeot, top 4 in that hyperpole session, 7/100ths of a second between the 4. 7/100ths. Absolutely ridiculous. But this comes off of here's the difference. Here's the thing. This comes off of ACO or the ACO. Yeah, ACO saying not gonna publish BOP this year. It's just like, okay, the reason you're saying this is because you don't want people to be speculating and all that. So you make the decision to hide BOP and get rid of transparency, and now it's like, oh, so we can speculate even more now. And you want to know the crazy thing about this? They actually got the BOP right this week. They got it dead right. There 6 cars. Okay, maybe I'm looking at that wrong. 5 different manufacturers. The Toyota, the Ferrari, the Alpine, Cadillac especially at certain points, and the BMW at some points. All of those cars, they were all on each other, man. It was great racing. It was close racing. I felt like they got the BOP dead right this weekend. Now, obviously you're always going to want tweaks, but they got it right. Jack, I do want your opinion on Cadillac, though. I know you have some thoughts about the Jota cars. Yeah. Unfortunate circumstances this weekend.
Yeah. Very unfortunate. Got hit with some penalties, I believe. Only the only the 38, I believe, finished on the lead lap for the hypercars. So disappointing. But I will say this: I predicted that the Toyotas and the Ferraris were going to be the top teams this week.
And they were.
Yeah,
They were. Clearly,
and they were. They clearly were. But I do agree with what you were saying. I think the balance, the BOP was awesome. Just incredible racing all the way up and down the order. Gaggles of 3, 4 cars just
five
for
even
position. Five even.
There are
Just
groups of five fighting at
fighting
some
for
times.
position. They're staying close, and obviously Imola is a great track that can facilitate that sort of stuff. But man,
Tight.
It's tight.
Track.
But here's the thing: it's like we're getting overtakes, into the chicanes, Aquae, Minerari. So just awesome, awesome racing. I agree. Best race of the weekend. Yeah, disappointing for my Cadillac guys, but hey, Toyota boasting a 50% run rate in
On the
WEC.
100th 100 races. Your 100th race, you go to Ferrari's backyard, one of like their 3 backyards.
Yeah.
You beat Ferrari on home turf. Not only that, you put both your cars on the podium.
Yeah.
Now you have not a 50% podium rate, not a 50% pole rate, not a 50% top 5 rate, a 50% win rate.
Yeah.
In all the races you've entered within WEC. That is fucking nuts, dog.
Fucking nuts.
That is nuts.
I mean,
And this is a great way.
that's unheard of. Like, in what racing series does a team or like manufacturer has a 50% win rate?
I can think of one. Ironically, Porsche in the FIA Sports Car Championship days, where where basically all of their prototypes were just dominating. That and like the Toyota back in the old IMSA GTP days, that car was fucking absurd.
Yeah.
They lost like one race in that year.
Yeah. Nuts.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying.
Yeah. I mean, this, however, was Toyota's first win since, I think, 2024, if I remember.
No, they actually won the very last race last year.
They did?
Yeah, they won at Bahrain last race. That was the one time they didn't get fucking 20 kilograms added to their car.
I must be
like
screwed
one
up.
time their car.
I must be getting my years mixed up. I must be getting my years mixed up. Yeah.
Probably because they weren't winning until that very last race.
Yeah, but yeah, pretty good race for Toyota, all things considered. And again, that's kind of like I think the first gem of many in their crown this weekend for racing. Pretty big one.
Do it in a new car, dude.
New car too. Yep. Yeah. Also,
Derek, what are your thoughts? Oh, wait, my bad.
Oh, sorry, I thought were y'all.
I screwed that all up. That's my fault. Jack was gonna say something, and I was just like, Derek,
go ahead.
That's my fault. I did not mean to do that.
No,
No, we already outvote you 2-1. Let's get to it.
Come on, Jack.
Okay, I'll bite. I wanted to give a shout to Brennan Hartley. Following this guy for quite a while, but man, just great performance by him. Just on Saturday. Well, what is it? Yeah, they're Saturday or
today.
Saturday. Yeah, right.
No, it's today.
Sunday.
The race
Oh.
was today.
Dude, I'm so lost in a void. I'm so sorry.
Look, there was a lot that happened.
There's a lot that happened. Yeah, I'm kind of like getting sensory overload. But look, great, incredible racing from Ben. I would say I'm giving him my award, my best driver this week, in my opinion. I thought he had just an incredible performance in that car. I think there may be people that could make an argument. Maybe Tyler Reddick coming back would be like my performance of the week or whatever you want to call it. But if I'm handing out an award, I'm giving it to Brendan Hartley. Also, Sebastian, also his teammate, just awesome stuff. I mean, that's a complete team right there, and they proved it. Also, good strategy call, giving up the not taking the tires and when doing that caution, I believe, early on. Track position is key, especially out of place around here, and they made it count.
One main thing I want to touch on, man, that the Garage 59 10 car. Want to make sure we get that right after I believe it was last week.
Yeah.
God, that just sucks, man. I think it was like 30 minutes to go.
Yeah, it was about like 30, 20-ish minutes ago.
That just breaking down like that's just heartbreaking, man.
They were the best car all day. One of I have to say they were the best car all day. I feel like I'd be comfortable saying they had the best performance this week out of anyone in any series. They were amazing, especially once you get with their bronze driver and then Tom Fleming as a rookie coming in here and just he was on it. He was on it, especially him. The fight between him and Johnny Eggert was fucking brilliant. I gotta be honest, that's probably my overtake of the week. Fleming on Edgar in the Corvette. Those two were brilliant, I have to say. I did vote for Fleming to be the Wingfoot Award winner for this race today because brilliant. But it is a shame that car did have the power issues and causing them to lose the win because they had it. They had that win. Now, the people who did get the win, the 69 BMW with Dan Harper. That's the guy I want to talk about a little bit. Dan Harper, want to know how he started the season off? Dan Harper's 2026 season so far, he's won at Daytona, the 24 Hours of Daytona. He won in Asian Le Mans. He's won at... Is that Asian Le Mans? That shit says Asian Le Mans series. He's won at NLS 2, and he's won the Imola 6 Hours. He's been amazing for BMW in that M4 GT3 Evo. And he's been one of their best drivers these recent years. And I truly believe by the end of this year, he may get a hypercar. He'll probably get a test in a hypercar soon. Especially by the end of the year. There's no way he doesn't. They inherit the win, to be fair. He's been brilliant. Even though you want to root for the McLaren, it's like they had the best race. BMW also had an amazing race, and they do deserve this win. Did finish, so you gotta give them that. But I do want to get back to the hypercars. I want to talk about the Peugeot. I think it's fair to talk about the Peugeots. Not a great race for them. You have the car because you obviously had the pace, single lap pace from qualifying. They were fourth. They qualified fourth. They were within hundredths of the Toyotas and the Ferraris. Then you go on to just not have a great race. You finish in 12th with the 94, and then the 16 got beat out of pits on cold tires. Cassidy just. I'm not blaming this on Nick Cassidy. He's a great driver. This is first year in this car, first year for Peugeot, and first year the series in this car. Teaches it. Cold tires on these cars are fucking brutal. I do need to say that. It is brutal. You can find a interview between, I think Intern did an interview with Ben Keating. And Ben Keating talked about starting a stint on on cold tires with the Porsche 963. It's brutal. It's horrible from what he said. It's like it's absolutely terrible to drive on those cars with cold tires. The cold tires we have now, but Peugeot, they know they have the car. This just wasn't the race from them. Especially down the stretch, it was not the race you wanted. But I do think you're happy in terms of pace. You got guys who are running up there. They're running good laps. They're running up front. I know that we're excited about Theo Pacher. He looked really good. He looked really good in his first stint in WEC in this hypercar. He was competing with the Aston Martin and the Cadillac. At one point, I think he was probably fighting the BMW or chasing down the BMW. But this is a week to forget in certain aspects. You want to move on to the next race for a better race next time. Alpine E4. Alpine said they might not they're going to exit the series at the end of the year, and I feel like this is the type of performance to say maybe we shouldn't. Maybe we should stick with it, because you were the third fastest car. It was Toyota, it was Ferrari, it was you. That says a lot. I think if you're Alpine, this is exactly where you want to be at. So moving forward, the Alpine team is super confident going into the next round, going into the next races. Genesis, Jack, you saw that Genesis could have a very good performance. They did. They ended up finishing 15th, third last, but they were genuinely fighting in the top 10 certain points of this race. Matisse Jabber comes in as a silver, as a rookie in the series, first time in a hypercar, and he's holding up the 50 Ferrari for about 5-6 laps. And that's a Le Mans winning car. That's a Le Mans winning crew you're keeping behind you. So I think that's super impressive. I think the car is probably ahead of expectations. Now, both cars finished. One of them, the 19, had some issues causing it to finish 24 laps down, but he still finished the race with both cars, even if he had some issues. You don't finish dead last. With both cars don't finish dead last. You still finish ahead of Peugeot. I think this car is ahead of schedule, in my opinion, with the way they were able to compete and the way they were able to fight. And they were up in the top 10 running in actual points. So I do think that's going to be a team to watch over the year, especially given how new cars are treated within the series. They are given the maximum BOP, so the heaviest, least power. They ran pretty damn good, so I'm excited to see what that car can do with some fair BOP.
What about
other opinion?
Oh, can I interject real quick?
Yes.
Sorry.
I was actually going to look for some.
I was going to mention the Aston Martins, the 007, 009. 9th, 14th. I mean, how are we getting hotter? Are we getting colder? I mean, is it maybe both? Or how can you be hot and cold at the same time?
Can be, because they're two different crews.
Yeah. True.
Yeah, I do think they probably were hoping for a little bit more to be up there with the front runners. they're fighting up front, but getting points is important. Getting a points finish to start the season is very important. The 009 was offset on fuel at the end of the race, so they had to come pit so they can make it on fuel. But they were right behind the 36 Alpine. And if they did get past them, because they had the pace to get past that car, they would have gotten the last of the manufacturer's points. Since the AF Corsa Ferrari is a privateer car, they do not score manufacturer's points. They score driver points, though. But I think if you're Aston Martin, I'm not very worried. You're still learning the car. This is only second year in the car. A lot of these teams are already onto their Evo kits. Basically everyone except for Peugeot and Genesis, since Genesis is new, is going to Evo this year. So yeah, I'd be happy. I'd be pretty happy, maybe a little bit disappointed in how the 009 race went. But if you're the 007 crew, I think you're pretty happy with a good P9 and showing up, having some good laps, having a fast car, and obviously having an amazing sounding car.
Yeah, it's incredible. I'll say this about at least the 007 is, I think finishing above the AF Corsa is not a bad result to start the season. Really, I mean, we've known, in my opinion, I think the AF Corsa is maybe underrated. I think Ferrari, they're a privateer, but good car. And to finish above them first year, I think it's pretty solid. Obviously, you finish ahead of the other Alpine, finish ahead of the Genesis and Peugeot. Both Peugeots. So, that's a given. But hey, 007, I think, I mean, both teams really can only go up from here. I think they're getting the building blocks together, and I think it's going to be like a couple short weeks till we get to Spa, and I think maybe
should be strong there.
Should be really strong there. I think they should be very, very strong there, which is what I was going to say. Very, very strong at Spa. So I think maybe this is a step in the right direction. Maybe eke out a win here.
Maybe that was one of their strong tracks when they were in their first year. They almost scored their first championship point there. So I agree with you. Spa should be very fun for them. It should be very interesting. I do want to ask, do y'all have any opinions on LMGT3?
I want to say I had it put up in my notes. Oh yeah, while Ferrari I thought did pretty solid in the hypercar, maybe not as good in the LMGT3 category. Yeah, did 6th place
and
result.
11th.
6th and 11th. Not what you would want to full C to see on your home track, but good run by the BMW, the 69. Pretty nice result, if I can say so myself. Sorry, I had to put that in there. Only 2 cars finish on the lead lap. Corvette only finished 2/10 behind.
It was down to the line.
Yeah,
it got down to the line.
So Corvette came really close. The number 33 Corvette. Would have been great for the Americans to steal it, but no. BMW had a pretty nice result. A 3-4 result for the Porsches. The 92 finishes 3rd, and the 91 finishing 4th. So very, very good result for both of those teams. And then you have another BMW down in 5th. I think pretty good race. I thought the race to the finish, the dash to the finish in the BMW and the Corvette was quite entertaining. Maybe best part of the race.
Yeah, the Corvette and the McLaren was super fun. I can't agree with you there. That probably might have been the best fighting of the race. I do want to shout out that the two Porsches, two brand new teams. Those are two
Yeah.
new teams running those Porsches for Porsche and Manti, the Bend, and then DK Engineering. So, two totally new driver lineups, two totally new car or teams, and actually a new car. Given that this is the 911 GT3R, this is the Evo version of the 911 GT3. So, I'd say that's a great position. The 88 Proton Ford that had Logan Sargent make his debut, finishing in P8. That car was running up front at times. Fortunately, it didn't seem like they had the car near the end. But I am excited to see what Logan Sargent can do in that car later as the series progresses. New to GT racing, he's new to this car, so I do think that car will be very strong at Le Mans, especially because that car was super strong at Le Mans last year.
Absolutely.
I do have to say this was last thing. Unfortunate results for the Lexus comparative to your IMSA team, to your IMSA counterparts. Neither car. One car finished 8 laps down. Well, not even 8 laps down. They were 8 laps down to the 59 McLaren, which had the issue at the end of the race. But both of your cars broke, which is the last thing you want, especially given that that probably would have been the car fighting the McLaren for the win. They had the pace. They were up there early in the race. At one point, they were 2-3. Shame for CODIS. Not really their fault. I don't really think it's their fault, but hopefully you bounce back at Spa next time around. I think that's all for WEC. If y'all have anything else to say.
I got one more. Kind of sucks. Mercedes, the Iron Lynx teams, just never really got up off the ground. Now, I will say that the 79 finish in 12th, finish only 2 laps behind the leaders, but the 61, tough day for them. Also tough day for the Corvette Turkey team.
They did not finish the race, unfortunately.
Yeah, didn't finish the race. Tough result. But hey, long season for a reason. Bounce back in a couple weeks. Spa, again, fun track, interesting track. Should favor some teams over the others. And obviously Le Mans pretty soon after that. So great race, and then WEC this week. Both categories. Awesome stuff.
All right. To end off this show, we're going to do our overtake of the week and our moment of the week. Derek, I know exactly what your moment of the week is, but I have a feeling this is not that.
You're going to be disappointed by my... So which one do you want to go with first, overtake or moment?
I think we do overtake of the week first.
I'm going with Reddick over Larson.
Yeah.
Just because it's a move I've seen him pull off before, but it still shocks me every time because I don't think there's a single driver in NASCAR currently that can pull off this move that Reddick can. I don't know what it is about it. He can just dive it off in there so much better than everyone else, and he can make it stick. And then just the way the cars are, he's able to hold on to their quarter panel and just side draft him back, get the run the next corner, clear him, and that's how he won the race.
I hate to make it a twofer, but that's definitely overtaking the week in my opinion. And then to pull it off, clutch time when you need it. This isn't something that you can re-rack and come back to a couple laps later. No, this is something you need to get done now. And to pull it off in the look at time against Larson, who's a pretty fierce defender, just had him by the coattails the whole way. very clutch overtake by Reddick. And again, you see it pull off all the time, but it just for the win, that's what you need.
Is what he's 2 or 3 car lengths back before he enters in the corner.
That's right.
It's pretty crazy.
Nuts. Yen, what do you got?
There's so many good overtakes, and the crazy thing is, I didn't even get to catch the race 2 of GT Open because that was happening at the same time as the second race for Nürburgring and Imola. But I gotta give it to Tom Fleming around the Corvette. That shit was brilliant. You could talk about that. You could talk about some of the moves Grello made over at the Nürburgring. There were some great moves made around the Nürburgring. There were some dive bombs going into the chicane at Imola, in the hype in both classes. So, but yeah, Tom Fleming over Johnny Edgar in that battle, in that duel, took him a few corners to get around him. So that's definitely my overtake of the week. Now, our moments of the week. I say we go Derek first again. Because I have a feeling if it's not what I think it is, I'm going to be pretty surprised.
Let me give a little background before this moment. It is the supercar race in New Zealand. They are fighting for the JR Trophy, named after Jason Richards. Right before this, I just want to say it's 5-lap restart. Ryan Wood, young driver, having a great year, he has some issue and he's forced to stop on the track. It causes this restart. He was going to have the JR Trophy. But with his DNF, it opened the door for 2 drivers, Brock Feeney and Brody Kostecki. Brody Kostecki had to pass Chaz Mostert and hope Brock Feeney could not pass Kai Allen, who got his first win this weekend. I wanted to mention that at some point. And on this restart, Brody Kostecki, he does a bit of a dive bomb, gets into Chaz Mostert. Chaz Mostert doesn't door him once, doesn't door him twice, doors him a third time, absolutely just runs him off the road. He comes, and the way the corner is set up, he runs him off the road to the left, and there's a left-hand turn coming up. A fairly fast left-hand turn.
One.
Brody Kostecki comes sliding across the track. Somehow, nobody hits him. And it's just this moment of madness for Mostert. Doesn't have a ton of consequences beside, his penalty. But it's just, an absolutely insane thing to see a guy just do what Chaz did. And, so Brock Feeney, who had an incredible year last year, and because of the way they do the championship over there now, wasn't the champion. He does get a slight consolation prize this year with the JR Trophy, which I want to point out. There's been some great drivers that have won this, right? SVG won it, I believe, 3 times. Scott McLaughlin did. Matt Payne did, who is having a very good year this year. Jamie Wincup. So it's I just cannot believe the head loss. I kind of want to, is how I describe it, that Chaz had.
Iconic moment. But my moment is, I'm sorry, Carson Carpal, but I'm sorry.
That shit was crazy.
I'm sorry, but that is crazy. I don't think, anytime a car goes airborne, as heavy as, NASCARs, or just, cars in general, right? As fast and as heavy as they are, it's kind of hard to imagine them ever being up off the ground, right? But when you're going at that speed and you have the aerodynamics of that car,
especially a stock car,
and it just, the wind just, the air just hits you right. You get a little bit of air, and then It's just like it's like effortless. It's insane, and you fly airborne for the length of a football field, and like do the tumbling that Carpel did. Just insane stuff. I'm glad he's all right, by the way.
Yeah.
But yeah, just again, when a car flips in NASCAR, I would never not talk about it. Like that's a, it's just like Ryan Preece moment. I don't know how else to say it. Ryan Preece at Daytona. But no, just again, sucks. Ammon Retzlaff didn't finish the race, but kind of ill-consequential to how the race would have ended. But man, just what a moment. I mean, that clip went viral.
The craziest part about that, in my opinion, is that his dad, 20 years ago, got on his fucking roof in a truck. I don't know if it was at Kansas, but like, how do y'all have the same exact accident? My moment, oh gosh, I was thinking about that, but also kind of want to talk about whatever the fuck happened to Hunter Lawrence over at Cleveland and SMX. Go, Derek.
No, I wasn't watching.
Yeah,
I did
so
hear something about that. So go ahead.
Unfortunately, Hunter Lawrence these past few weekends, like he's bounced back last weekend, a great result. But I think it was Detroit or St. Louis. He had a crash that allowed Eli Tomac to get the red plate championship lead. But he bounced back, managed to tie up this weekend. He managed to tie up and also get the red plate back. This weekend, he unfortunately had another crash, and he fell all the way down to I think he finished the race 14th because he went down a few times, and it was bad because he lost the visor off his helmet. He lost his. You know how on a dirt bike, you have the fuel, how the fuel tank's right in front of you, and you have that. He lost the hose to his fuel tank, so he had gas pouring all over him, and there was even because it's just like. If you've been around gas, we've all been around gas, you don't let that shit anywhere on you. You especially don't want it when you're riding a bike where there's a good chance that it could get to your eyes. That shit
would not recommend.
Burn. So he was having to tear off his. He'd have to use so many of his tear offs. I think there was like one lap where he used 4.
Oh my god.
His tear offs. So he had. Rough final race for Hunter Lawrence in race 3 over in Cleveland, but I did want to shout out Ken Roczen. He's now 1 point off the championship lead. He's been on fire. You got 3 riders with 4 wins this year. So
That's
SMX is coming down to the wire. Yeah, it's been such a fun season. But yeah, I think that's my moment of the week. That's my little shout out of the week. Any lasting thoughts, remarks, craziness?
Dega next week. You want crazy, you're gonna find all the craziness there.
The weather there is not looking the best right now.
Come on.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we got Talladega next week. May is coming super soon, and with May comes the 24 hours in Nürburgring, the next race in that series, or beginning of our 3 major 24-hour races, which is the 24 hours in Nürburgring in May, and then 24 hours of Le Mans and 24 hours of Spa in June. And you have the return of F1, you have the Indianapolis 500, you have Charlotte, the Coke 600. Is it the Coke 600?
Yes.
Okay, the Coke 600. You got the double in IndyCar, in Charlotte, in NASCAR. It's all going to kick off in May. Then you have the final few races in SMX. You got more racing with WEC and IMSA. So I hope we all stick around for that, for May, for June, for the rest of this year. And I want to thank both of y'all for being on the show this time. We actually managed to do like an hour and a half.
Yeah.
It's just now 10. So we're
With
getting
the
better,
schedule we
guys.
had? Oh man.
Yeah,
Pretty good.
We're getting better. Thank you for everyone who watched today. Luckily, it wasn't 2 hours. Luckily, it wasn't 2 hours. If you watched to the end, if you watched it all, please comment, like, subscribe. Even if you didn't like it,
Click the dislike button twice.
up, and you will not end up like a beached Peugeot. So, thank everyone for watching Wheel to Wheel, this episode of Wheel to Wheel, and we will see you guys later. Peace.